The Vraxian Emperor's laughter echoed through the crystalline halls of his palace, a sound like shattering glass that made his courtiers wince. He had just received the human mechanic's payment request for repairing the Imperial flagship, a vessel so ancient and complex that 3 generations of Vraxian engineers had declared it beyond salvation. He wants my daughter's hand in marriage? Emperor Zektherin wheezed between fits of amusement. The audacity, the sheer presumption. The human, whose name was Marcus Webb, had indeed made such a request. In the 6 months he'd spent elbows deep in the flagship's quantum drive systems, he'd restored the impossible, a warship that had been the Empire's pride before Marcus's great-grandfather was born. The Vraxians, with their elegant frames and metabolism that converted starlight into energy, had never encountered someone quite like Marcus, broad-shouldered, thick-fingered, and perpetually covered in grease stains that their cleaning technology couldn't remove. "Send him Lysara," the Emperor declared, still chuckling. Let the human have his bride. The court fell silent. Even the most sycophantic nobles understood the cruelty in those words. Princess Lysara was the Emperor's shame, hidden in the palace's lower levels where visiting dignitaries wouldn't see her. While her sisters were willowy and luminescent, Lysara was heavy-set by Vraxian standards, her body storing physical mass in ways her species had evolved beyond millennia ago. Genetic throwback, the doctors had whispered. Evolutionary regression. The kindest courtiers called her traditional. The rest simply whispered insults behind jeweled fans. "Father, you cannot," began Lysara's sister, Princess Yavara, but the Emperor's glare silenced her. "The human wants a princess. He shall have one. Let him discover what joke the universe has played on him." Marcus Webb stood in the diplomatic receiving bay, his dress uniform tight across his shoulders. He'd traded his usual coveralls for formal attire, though he'd refused to wear the anti-grav boots that would make him tower less over the assembled Vraxians. When Princess Lysara entered, escorted by silent guards, Marcus felt his breath catch. She was beautiful. Not in the way the Vraxians defined beauty, those stick-thin, floating wraiths who looked like they might blow away in a strong breeze. Lysara had presence, substance. Her robes couldn't hide the curves of her figure, and she moved with her feet firmly on the ground, walking rather than gliding. Her eyes, a deep violet unusual among her kind, met his with a mixture of defiance and resignation. "Mr. Webb," she said, her voice carrying the musical quality of her species but with an undertone of weariness. "I am told you requested a princess. My father has decided I will suffice." Marcus heard the pain beneath her formal words. He'd heard enough gossip in the palace engine rooms to understand what had happened. The Emperor had sent his defective daughter as a joke, expecting the human to recoil in disappointment or worse, to accept out of obligation. "Your Highness," Marcus said, stepping forward. "I'm honored." Lysara's eyes narrowed. "You don't need to pretend, Mr. Webb. I know what I am." "What they call me? Do you know what I call you?" Marcus asked softly. "I call you the most beautiful woman I've seen since I left Earth." Her laugh was bitter. "Flattery won't—" "I'm not flattering you," Marcus interrupted gently. "I'm telling you the truth. Do you know what I've missed most working on your father's ship? Home. Real gravity. Food with weight and substance. People who don't look like they're afraid of breaking if you hug them too hard." He gestured to himself. "Look at me, Your Highness. I'm what we call built like a brick shithouse back home. My last girlfriend told me I was too heavy, too solid, too much. Your people have been polite, but I've seen how they look at me. Like I'm some kind of gravitational anomaly that shouldn't exist." Lysara studied him, perhaps truly seeing him for the first time. "You're serious. Dead serious." Marcus took another step closer. "You want to know why I asked for your hand? It wasn't because I wanted any princess. 6 months ago, I was working on Junction K-47 in the lower engineering deck. You came down there looking for a quiet place to read. You didn't know I was there behind the plasma conduits." Recognition flickered in her eyes. "You sat down, right on the deck, not floating, not perching, but sitting with your whole body settled like you belonged there. You read for 2 hours. I couldn't see what you were reading, but I heard you laugh. A real laugh, not that tinkling thing your sisters do. And when you left, you walked. Your footsteps rang on the metal deck, and it was the first sound in 6 months that felt like home." Lysara's hand moved to her mouth. "You? That was you? I thought I was alone. You were supposed to be." I didn't mean to intrude, but after that I started noticing you. The way you actually ate food in the palace gardens instead of just absorbing nutrients. The way you'd stop to feel the texture of things, fabrics, metal, stone. You lived in your body instead of floating above it. The others say that's primitive, Lysara whispered. The others are idiots, Marcus said bluntly. Your Highness, Lysara, if I may. I come from a world with heavy gravity where humans evolved to be strong and solid and real. When I look at you, I don't see what's wrong. I see someone who finally feels right. Lysara searched his face for deception and found none. My father meant this as a punishment for you. An insult. Then your father doesn't understand humans very well. Marcus extended his hand. We tend to want what others overlook. We find value in what's thrown away. It's kind of our thing. For the first time, Lysara smiled. Not the careful, courtly expression she'd learned to wear, but a genuine smile that transformed her face. She placed her hand in his and Marcus felt the solid warmth of it, the realness. Mr. Webb. Marcus. Marcus, she corrected, her smile widening. I think my father may have miscalculated. I think, Marcus said, gently squeezing her hand. That's the best miscalculation he ever made. In the palace above, Emperor Zektheron would later rage when he learned his joke had backfired, that the human had not only accepted Lysara but cherished her. But in that moment in the diplomatic bay, two people who had been called wrong, too much, not enough, found in each other exactly what they needed. It was very human, Marcus thought, to find treasure in what others considered trash, and it was very human to prove that one person's joke could be another person's joy. The end.